This deep-sea whale begged in pain. I just wish someone would come and kill him, because he was bound by countless chains. Legend has it that he has been trapped for over 1,000 years. The body has grown into a huge island. For swallowing several fishing boats by mistake, imprisoned by the king for 1,000 years, endless torture and loneliness make him shed tons of tears every day. Until this day, a magical pair appears at sea. They came to rest on a reef, but was attracted by the whining sound coming from behind. And the man turns around, only to find out that the island next to it is actually a giant whale. Feel the pain of the whale. The kind man decided to assist him. He dived into the deep sea and began to observe. Bud found that the huge chains are like dragons. You can't destroy it yourself. After returning to shore, the man suddenly sneezed, and that inspired him. Then the man rode the donkey. Fly into the whale's nostril. Unexpectedly, the whale's body is as beautiful as a galaxy. Man makes donkey tickle giant sutra with his wings. Under this intense stimulus, concentration erupts with unprecedented power. Successfully broke the first chain, he can finally move his body a little bit. Under the constant stimulation of the two of them, the whale actually stood up its huge body upright. Sure enough, tickiness allows creatures to explode with terrifying potential. I don't know if you are afraid of itching in front of a screen. With an earth-shattering sneeze, and the chains started to break, Jujing not only sprayed men and small fish out, even the fishing boats that were swallowed vomited up. Reborn whale. To repay his savior, entrust a good friend, Boss Z. Giving a man a magic ring. Men don't know what they're doing, but it almost cost him dearly, because the cruel king got the news. He wants men to suffer the harshest punishment for whales. Dumby was a worker on the farm. Although poor, but he was honest and kind. Always protect weak animals. This night, a bright light appeared on the farm. It turned out to be a god horse that sneaked down, come and play on this farm. As a result, he accidentally fell into the lake. After the kind Dumb found out, trying my best to save him, but he couldn't pull the white horse at all, and struggled in pain. I'm about to be submerged in the lake. Dumby looked around anxiously, found the water wheel behind. The witty Dumb quickly pulled up the rope, have him attached to the water wheel, then come to the other end of the water wheel. With body weight, let the water wheel successfully rotate. Finally, the white horse was successfully rescued. Look at the savior in front of you. The white horse shed tears of emotion. Dumb helps the white horse untie the rope, so that he can go home early. In the next second, the white horse regained its light. He jumped to his feet in gratitude. Then, under Dumby's shocked gaze, rushed into the distance at the speed of 3 white horses, turned into a shooting star and flew into the night sky. I thought it was a dream. But the next day, Dumb found a funny little donkey in the house. And this little donkey is actually speaking human words. He said he was the white horse of last night. It's a deity from the fairy world. Specially came to repay Dumby for saving his life. He also brought 2 sweatshoe BMWs as gifts. This makes Dumb happy. Just as he watched the 2 horses fall in love, a roar came. It turns out that the white horse trampled the farm in a mess last night, and Dumby didn't protect the crops well. The farmer will never let him go. At this time, the little donkey volunteered to become Dumby's mount. I want to take him away from here. Dumb can't even dream of it. The donkey is actually faster than the Mazda. Although they managed to escape, but the 2 horses are still on the farm. But the donkey is very calm. Let Dumby cover his ears. Then he looked up to the sky with a lion roar. It summoned a BMW thousands of miles away. They came to the magnificent capital to compensate farmers for their losses. Dumby plans to sell to horses at the market. Just happened to be seen through the telescope by the greedy king. He didn't pay a penny. They confiscated Dumb's horse. Isn't this bullying honest people? Although Dumb is very sad, but what could he do with the king? The little donkey on the side can't bear it. Looking up to the sky is a roar. Hearing the call, the horses immediately ran back. The king, who refused to give up quickly, came after him. The horse managed to cross the flower heap, blocking the way. But the king was not so lucky. Just fell into it. Instantly turned into a little white man. Unexpectedly, the king was not only not angry, he also said that he would make Dumby a high official. But the premise is to help him destroy the divine beast Fire Phoenix. This is obviously the shoulder and neck of the king, because the Fire Phoenix is very fierce. Those who went to capture him were consumed by flames. But Dumb, this dumbass, can be an official when he hears it. Riding on a little donkey, I set off. When passing through a forest, the donkey stopped. He told Dumb Phoenix that it was terrifying, but Dumb has no way out. The king will kill him if he fails to complete the task. Then, he saw a big tree. The squirrels above are all lethargic. I had no idea anyone was approaching. Dumby found the nuts falling on the ground again. But, just as I wanted to taste it, I was stopped by the little donkey. Turns out, these nuts are poisonous. If you eat it, you will be in a coma. Who knew that Dumby smiled happily? Because Phoenix loves nuts the most? Then they came to a desert oasis. Because this is the home of Phoenix. They used the nuts as bait, sprinkled all over the ground, but Phoenix never showed up. Just when a little squirrel came to steal it, the ground suddenly emitted a dazzling red light. In the next second, a pillar of fire rose into the sky. Like a volcanic eruption, a phoenix emerged from the earth. I saw that his whole body was wrapped in blazing flames. Wings flicked lightly. It went up like a rocket, flying fast like a shooting star. After a few laps, Phoenix gracefully returns to the ground. Soon found the nuts on the ground, and that made him very happy. But as a noble beast, eat with elegance. Stretch out the orchid and throw it into the sky. Then she danced and opened her cherry mouth. I didn't expect it to taste so delicious. He ate the nuts one by one. There is one last one, but I found that my eyes were starting to blur. Then he fell to the ground. But even so, don't forget to eat the last one. Then he fainted with peace of mind. Dumby excitedly woke up the little donkey beside him. But just as he was about to act, a hot chicken feet came from behind. Dumb instantly froze the flax. And the chicken feet just take the nuts from the bag. As a result, Dumb turned around and shouted, so scared that Phoenix fell a big somersault, it made him feel embarrassed. Chasing after the escaped Dumb, Seeing that Dumby can't escape, the little donkey rushed out recklessly. He knocked the phoenix flying. The recovered phoenix pursued the donkey. Seeing that the donkey is in danger, Dumby, who had changed his equipment, quickly stopped the result. Quickly got into the sand and played hide and seek. But this is Phoenix's home after all. The little fish was soon caught. Just as he was about to attack, but accidentally found nuts under the wooden board, suddenly in a beautiful mood, I'm about to close my eyes and enjoy the food. Who knew that the little squirrel stole the nuts? Now, Phoenix is really angry. Open your mouth and spit out hellfire. Everywhere I went instantly turned into a sea of fire. The two were cornered, but the Phoenix waved to them. Dumb just reacted. Immediately threw out the nuts. Phoenix was afraid of being snatched away and quickly swallowed it in one bite. Result, next second. The next day, Phoenix was tied up like a chicken dumpling. When did a dignified beast have such shame? Wronged tears fell from the corners of my eyes. Burned through Dumby's doo-doo shoes. Everything has a spirit. Looking at the sad Phoenix, Dumb is very impatient. Finally, the chains were released for him. The free Phoenix nodded at Dumby. Then, it flew away like a rocket. He left behind a feather before he left. It is the most precious, colorful feather of Phoenix. Dumby rushed back to the kingdom with the feather letter. Tell everyone. Fire Phoenix is already his good buddy. Won't hurt anyone again. Then he took out his feathers to prove it. But the feathers in his hands are now dim. The king felt that he had been tricked. Sent Dumby to the guillotine on the spot. And that's when the fire started. The feathers regained their radiance. Then the Phoenix appeared in the sky. It turned out that after he felt that Dumby was in danger, and he came over 1,000 miles away to protect Dumb, Phoenix chose to stay here. See such a miracle? And the crowd went crazy. Everyone believes that Phoenix is Dumb's good friend. The king had to keep his promise. Let Dumb become a high official. And the Phoenix plays the role of the street lamp. As long as Dumb blows the whistle, night turns into day. It turned out that the product was addicted. Whistling all night long, this made the king very upset. So I gave Dumby a task again. In the distant kingdom of ice, there is a beautiful princess. The king asked him to bring the snow princess back. To be queen. This is a 10,000-meter high snow-capped mountain. Even the clouds are not as tall as her. Dumb crawled for 98 days. Finally arrived at the palace of the Snow Kingdom. Dumby is so excited that he will crush it. A thick wall of ice blocked the way. Now, Dumb is completely helpless. Who knew that the Phoenix would fly out with him? In a whoosh, he got into the ice wall. The next second, the ice wall melts in an instant. But the little donkey was accidentally washed away. I took a slide all the way down the snow-capped mountain, finally hung on the cliff. Dumb had no choice but to enter the palace first, but found countless identical snow princesses. Just when he was at a loss, Phoenix feathers come down. Successfully awakened the true body of Snow Princess. The princess, who has been sleeping for 100 years, falls in love with Dumby at first sight. He threw Dumby down on the spot, and this isn't going to be great. Just skipped it first. After, Snow Princess happily agreed to go down the mountain with Dumby. They used the dress as a parachute, but it was trampled through by Dumby. As a result, the two fell quickly. When it was about to fall into a paddy, the donkey grew wings and flew over, successfully rescued the two. Dumby returns triumphantly with the Snow Princess. From then on, he was more loved by the people. This made the king jealous. Therefore, give Dumby another impossible task. Dumb flies to the sea on a donkey. The goal of their trip is this gathering, but the kind-hearted Dumb saw the tortured gather. After that, not only did it not hurt him, instead, it helped him return to his freedom. This time, Dumb didn't complete the task. He knew that the king would not let him go. So, take advantage of the dark. Dumb secretly climbed the tower, trying to rescue the imprisoned Snow Princess. Little do you know, the cunning king has already sent someone to monitor everything. The two people who are in love here finally meet. Dumby took out the magic ring. When confessing affectionately to Snow Princess, the soldiers broke down the door, caught Dumby on the spot, and the little green who was hiding in the window, also shot by the king. Fall from the sky, seriously injured. The next day, Dumb was pressed to the execution ground. The soldiers pressed down 3 large iron pans, a pot of boiling water, a pot of ice water, and a pot of boiling milk. As long as Dumby can take a bath from the 3 pots in turn, the king pardoned him for his crimes. Dumb knows he must die. He looked back at the princess behind him. I expressed my love in front of everyone. People were moved by his romance. The king saw this and pushed him down. When it was about to be swallowed by boiling water, the princess took off the ring in her hand. Thrown into hot water, the next second, Dumb flew, and the Phoenix comes. Awakened the Phoenix feather in the treasure box. Just as Dumby fell into the second mouthful of ice water glass, Phoenix feathers then floated. The blood clot exploded in an instant. Dumb flies to the sky again. Then fall into the last bite of boiling water wave. And this time, there was no movement. Just when everyone thought miracles wouldn't happen, a glittering light appeared in the sky. A luminous dandelion slowly fell into the iron waves. Next second, Dumby flew under the protection of a golden light. It turned out that the little donkey dragged the seriously injured body overnight. Ran back to the fairy world. I found this myth that came back to life. Dumb passed the king's punishment smoothly. To the cheers of everyone in the audience, fly back to the princess. And the king thought the walk had magic powers. And he jumped. And you get stuck in a giant bubble, finally floated to the sky and disappeared. And the kind Dumby is under the call of all the people. Become the new king of this country, living a happy life with my beloved Snow Princess. The story ends here. Although this is a fairy tale, but as long as you are a kind and upright person, your life will be full of brilliance.
Thanks for watching. Want more videos like this? Support and stay tuned for the next one.